explanation of our TV show. In each episode, we'll show what's going on in our lives through a series of short films. But this is not a reality show.
The episodes work like this.
Take the 7 new short films for this show, then add a couple of less structured interstitial movies, and one overall theme to tie everything together. Combine all of these elements, carefully bake them together in iMovie. And voila, the second episode of our TV show.
Passageiros, acabamos de aterrar no aeroporto de Schiphol em Amsterdão. Pedimos que se conservem sentados, conscientes e apertados até que os sinais sejam desligados.
For any reason this plane doesn't make, please send this footage to someone who will edit it properly. Send it to Werner Herzog.
There is some sort of a harmony. It is the harmony of overwhelming and collective murder.
Episode 2. Challenge and Reward. In this episode, I challenge my old boss to a model boat race, discover a cool thing, and receive a challenge from Casey. Casey challenges a jean shop, I find a movie writing challenge, and Casey and I challenge our assistant to get a bottle of maple syrup to Amsterdam. I got to eat all that candy. My friend Tom is a famous artist, Major. He's my favorite artist in the world. He once made an airplane bathroom out of paper that works. Flushing toilet, hot and cold water, all the lights, even the mechanical occupied lock. He made a refrigerator out of plywood from scratch that works. Guns, a McDonald's, the world's largest boombox, a 1/25th scale raceway, a plywood aircraft carrier, everything works. Casey and I worked for Tom for 4 years. Our tenure with him ended 3 years ago, and since then we've learned a few tricks of our own.
Go, go, go!
He's the master. He's our Yoda. He's taught us everything we know. But Tom Sachs doesn't know shit about building boats.
This is the race to go around the sculpture and back.
This is the story of a classic Hamilton Burris duel. The teacher and the student had a disagreement, and I, the student, demanded satisfaction.
But my boat is going to be able to go faster than his.
You honestly think your boat's going to be faster than mine? Have you seen my rudder speed?
Yeah.
What I meant to say is paddle speed. The point of contention that led me to mutiny from Tom's boatyard and start my own was in the transmission design. I wanted a nice firm pledge can to put my paddles on. My design involved a pledge can with an axle running through it and paddles mounted to the sides of the can. A radio-controlled Mini Z racer would then sit atop the can and propel the can and paddles. A rudder attached to the Mini Z racer wheels would allow the boat to steer. Tom's transmission used 2 spray paint can caps duct taped together. I felt there was no way this could provide adequate traction, and I could not go along with it.
Ready, set, go.
The race course is 1 lap around the statue, beginning and ending at the edge of the reflecting pool. If a racer touches his boat, he must return to the and begin again. To my amazement, Tom's slender boat quickly took the lead, exposing my major design flaw. My transmission used a wet clutch design. Because the pledge can was submerged, my tires slipped on the wet surface. Too much slippage and my batteries would die. Or worse, my paddle wheel would seize and I'd be dead in the water. Neither design worked adequately and we reached a stalemate. Both of us had to put our boat in dry dock and make necessary improvements. The race would continue on shore and in the boathouse.
So Tom is still working on his boat and I'm done with mine. We're in the middle of the race. I've made some improvements. Waterproof Scotch sandpaper strips, which are designed for bathtubs so you don't slip. I've also shortened the paddles so that it displaces less water and it's easier on the car motor.
As a final touch, I used a ruler to put greater pressure on the back end of the car, giving it better contact with the pledge can. With no sign of Tom, I relaunched my boat. I expected him to appear at any moment to tear my heart out. My new traction design held, and the redesigned rudder and keel gave me the steering I needed. It took about 3 minutes to complete the circuit.
I have to be between this line and this line here. This is it. This is the winning. I'm going to go be a good sport and say to Tom, good race and whatnot. But it was an issue of design. Good race.
I felt like I had just my dad at arm wrestling. Tom's opening was a smash hit. We raced the little cars for everyone, and the crowd loved it.
How do you feel winning the Nazis Midwestern Challenge?
I feel great.
How do you feel?
I'm proud to lose to such a champion. Van's a great driver and he drove with expertise and precision and strength.
The Padawan are Jedi children in training. They even have little lightsabers.
I was Tom's assistant too once.
A cool thing.
Dear Tom and Van, in light of your recent boat construction competition, I pose a new challenge to the both of you. For you, Tom, an opportunity at redemption. And for you, Van, to prove the student has in fact surpassed the teacher. The race will begin here, 910 Beach in New London, Connecticut. Tom, Van, you launch from this beach, and you must get yourself and your vessel around the New London Ledge Lighthouse and back again. First person to the shore wins, just like the soldiers at the beaches of Normandy. You'll each be given $250. All materials must be purchased from Boaters World. All tools, supplies, etc. must come from here. All construction will happen here. Nana's garage will serve as the boathouse. You both have 1 day to construct your vessel and map your route. You're free to discuss your ideas with one another and collaborate, or work with total autonomy, or work with autonomy and hoard your ideas. In addition to engineering, this challenge will test ingenuity, resourcefulness, endurance, and tenacity. I look forward to your acceptance of this challenge.
I accept.
I accept.
Tune in to future episodes of the Neistat Brothers to see the conclusion nautical challenge, where Van and Tom battle it out on the high seas of the Long Island Sound. Who will be the victor? I've always had issues with my clothes. As a child, my mom used to make everything I wore, humiliating me until I was old enough to shop at the Salvation Army on my own. Last year, I bought a really great pair of... They were expensive, but really great pants. I wore them everywhere. One night in January, while riding my friend's scooter, some guy crashed his SUV into me. When a femur is broken, the periosteum, which is the tissue that covers the surface of the bone, is torn apart. Then a hematoma forms between the fractured ends of the bone. This, and the rush of white and red blood cells to the fracture, causes a great deal of swelling. Because of the inflammation and need to immobilize my leg, the paramedics told me they had to cut off my pants. I begged them not to. I even appealed to Van and the ambulance to stop them.
He was like, "Don't cut off my pants, don't cut off my pants."
But they did. They cut them to pieces, leaving me on that bed naked. I couldn't fix them. I mailed them back to their birthplace. A few weeks later, I got a phone call from the owner of the jeans company. He said the pin far gone. They couldn't be saved. He gave me a new pair. They were just like my old pair, but new. Thanks for the pants, Jean Shop.
Most of the following was shot on a digital point-and-shoot, so it's a little lower definition than you're used to. It's the Super 8 of our time. My wife bought this book right before she got her motorcycle because she's pretty much a genius. It has the 275 best drives in the US, and before I die, I want to ride them all. I had scheduled 5 days at the beginning of June to ride 3,000 miles and cross of these drives off of my list if I got lucky. Trip log, day 1. George Bush caused a traffic jam in Jersey. My brand new bike started bucking on the turnpike. In Delaware, it stalled out when I pulled in the clutch. Then it worked just fine. Then it got really cold and the bike worked so-so. Stopped for a 2-mile train in Maryland. Then it got freezing cold. I crossed a 20-mile bridge, then called it a night in Virginia Beach.
Oh, what's the problem?
I have writer's block. I had writer's block. I wanted to tell the story about my motorcycle ride in my wife's book in from my wife and our rides together. I wanted to tell about my suicide run and making it to my cousin's wedding after 3.5 days of riding with 20 minutes to spare. I wanted to tell about the best gift shop in the world and the presents I bought for my cousin and his new bride, my new cousin. But I was all blocked up. Writer's block is a constipation of ideas. What I needed was a laxative to flush out the mess of ideas to make room for a new one. So I hit the reset button. I rode home in the rain. I went to bed. I went for a run. I put on a great CD. I put on my lucky sweatshirt. I wrote. I took a shower. I had a bagel. I got dressed. I rode to the studio. A bunch of friends were inside, which made me feel great. I reenacted a scene from The Shining. I listened to a great album called Writer's Block. I listened to a song I first heard with friends in Amsterdam, and I listened to a song, Amsterdam.
Syrup did not pass security, so now Casey had to go all the way out through a very slow security line, check it, and we're risking missing our flight because it's worth it.
To get maple syrup to Amsterdam, you must first start in Vermont in 1967. You see, a maple tree must be 40 years old before you can tap it for sap. So the tree grows up, and a farmer drills a tap into the trunk and waits. From 3 trees, he gets about 40 gallons of sap in one 6-week sugaring season. Then the farmer boils the sap down. From his original 40 gallons of sap, he gets 1 gallon of maple syrup. Then it gets canned, put on a truck, shipped to some distributor somewhere, and trucked to the deli across the street. Then you gotta go buy it. And then Oscar has to get it to Amsterdam. Amsterdam is a city of munchies, the chocolate-covered waffle, the doner sandwich.
A herring onion sandwich.
The herring sandwich. And the best pancakes in the world. There's only one problem with the pancakes in Amsterdam, and that's the poison they expect you to eat them with. Stroop. Stroop is an aberration of breakfast sweeteners. It's basically a mixture of corn syrup and food coloring that tastes like beer vomit. Oscar is the official Neistat Brothers studio assistant, and his only job this week is to bring us maple syrup. But first, he has to get through a 17-hour layover in Reykjavik.
You got it, you got it.
Oscar had been working for us for about a month. He was a good assistant, but had had a recent string of failures in the studio. Our confidence in him was wavering. We agreed to pay for him to come with us to Amsterdam, provided he gets the syrup there. This mission was a test. We needed our maple syrup, and Oscar's job on the line. Van insisted we hedge our bets and bring our own syrup in case Oscar failed us again. We bought Oscar the cheapest plane ticket we could find. That's why he has a 22-hour layover in the middle of Iceland.
I haven't eaten anything or spent any money or really slept very much in Iceland, so I'm pretty beat up. But my primary concern is that at JFK Airport they wouldn't let me put the maple syrup, which was really my only job, to make sure the maple syrup got to Amsterdam. They wouldn't let me carry it on because it's a liquid.
To take the Holland Tunnel to get to Holland.
We are expert travelers, Casey and me. Fast. We know lots of tricks.
One of our tricks is to go straight to the first class line. So here I am, past security, and check this out. This houses the magic syrup.
We had made it through security at JFK and still had our fail-safe bottle of maple syrup. We were one leg away from Amsterdam.
The key to airline travel is not to check bags. The problem with carry-on is that these assholes keep trying to blow up planes, and as a result, the Department of Homeland Security doesn't allow more than 2 ounces of liquid on a plane. Which is funny, because we didn't have any problems until we got to Lisbon.
So I finally made it to the airport in Amsterdam, but I don't think my bags did. More importantly, the maple syrup is at stake.
This is the only way. If you call them tomorrow, they can tell you how much.
Yeah, that wasn't on there though.
When Oscar got his bag back, it looked like a gorilla had tried to eat it. What's more, one of the zippers was completely destroyed.
So they definitely took the syrup. I opened my bag, but there was nothing there.
The plane boards in 5 minutes, but we're trying to save the syrup.
Our syrup was in jeopardy with the Portuguese authorities. We weren't sure if we were going to get it through to Amsterdam. Now more than ever, we were counting on Oscar.
Okay, so they got it. I forgot to get the gate. This place is a labyrinth.
I'm rolling now.
Did you bring the maple syrup?
I didn't bring
Do you have maple syrup?
I have this.
Holy shit,
That
you
sells
did it.
maple syrup.
You did it? It's real maple syrup?
She assured me.
Well,
It's real maple syrup.
holy shit, dude. Okay, Case.
Because I just want to show you how closers do it.
You
Ah.
straight up smuggled. Whatever it takes. Got it?
Is that the right spot?
Yeah, that's good. Okay, what did you want? The deadbolt?
My only defense in regards to the deadbolt is that the only direction